We are faced with choices, uncertainties, and challenges that can sometimes make us question the direction of our lives. It's easy to feel overwhelmed by the twists and turns of life, but as followers of Christ, we are reminded time and time again that God has a perfect plan for us, a plan that is designed for our good and His glory. When we trust in God's plan, we find peace, purpose, and assurance that He is in control. One of the most powerful reminders of God's plan for our lives comes from Jeremiah 29, verse 11, where God declares, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future." This verse assures us that God's intentions toward us are always good. Even when we face hardships or detours along the way, we can trust that God's plan will ultimately lead us to a place of hope, growth, and fulfillment. God's plan is not only for our prosperity, but also for our transformation. In Romans 8, verse 28, the Bible tells us, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose." This verse reminds us that no matter what happens in our lives, whether it's a moment of success or a season of struggle, God is working all things together for our good. His plan is not always what we expect, but it is always what we need. Even when things seem unclear, God's hand is at work behind the scenes, shaping us and guiding us toward His perfect will. The challenge, however, is learning to trust God's plan, especially when it doesn't align with our own desires or timing. Proverbs 3 verses 5 to 6 gives us a beautiful reminder of how to approach life's uncertainties. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your path straight. When we trust God and surrender our plans to Him, He leads us on the right path. It's easy to try to control our own destiny, but true peace comes when we let go of our own agenda and align ourselves with God's perfect plan. One of the most comforting truths is that God knows what is best for us. In Isaiah 55, verses 8 to 9, God speaks to our limited understanding. "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts." God's wisdom far exceeds our own, and His plan is always greater than anything we could have imagined for ourselves. Even when we face disappointment or confusion, we can take comfort in the fact that God's plan is far better than anything we could design on our own. In Philippians 1 verse 6, we are reminded that the work God begins in us, He will complete. Being confident of this, that He who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Christ Jesus. God doesn't start something in our lives without bringing it to fruition. His plan for us is a lifelong journey, and He will continue to guide, shape, and refine us as we walk in His will. So, when life feels uncertain, when things don't go as planned, and when we feel lost, let us remember that God's plan is always for our ultimate good. His wisdom is perfect, His timing is flawless, and His love for us is unending. Trust in the fact that God has the best plan for your life, and that He will lead you step by step to a future filled with hope, purpose, and joy.